It's 1:24 in the morning. I finished my last drop, and I can give you a tour in Union Pacific of Salt Lake. There are two cranes or lifters that are taking a break. Another two are working. The total is 4. This is the place where the workers administrative office for the workers and the shop that repairs whatever tools they use in the yard. And here is one crossing at the end, and there is another crossing on the other end of the rails. There are 4 lines here, 2 here and 2 on the other side. And the marking of the slots are on this side. They are the red, the gray, and the blue. On the other side are the green, the brown, and the pink. If you look at the containers here, most of them are 53 feet long, or the half containers that are half of that are on the other side, all the way at the end. There are not too many of them. Sometimes you see containers here mixed between 53. If you look at the train, most of them are 53. Look closely right here. Let's say 53. Let me get the window down. It's raining. It's 53 feet long, most of them. That is called a bare chassis when you put containers on it. You look at the side here, the bare chassis were loaded by containers. The containers were picked by the lifter and put on the rail cars. That process is called flipping, which means you flip or you switch the container from the chassis to the rail cars. Here you see 2 containers are loaded on the top of each other, and if you look closely to the rail car, you discover that it is enforced. It has a slot in the middle where the green container is sinking down to the bottom. That will give it a lot of stability. So this kind of rail cars will take 2 containers on the top of each other. On this case, you see them are corrugated metal, and they are dry merchandise. On the other side of the train, they are not corrugated, but they are enforced at certain spots. If you look closely, you see there is a loading line, vertical, and at the top it says WTB, or weight point. The weight point where you load at the top, on the bottom you put a lock here, you put a lock at the bottom at that central vertical line, and there is a message here that say stack limit is 3. 3 when they are on the ground. On the train, on the rail car, they are only 2, because there is no rail cars that take 3 high. It would be too heavy to move on the train. That side of the yard, of the ramp, are just slots for parking. Those slots are GPS labeled, so you can locate your container from anywhere in the world. Each slot has a number and a color. A color is just a code. For example, this is a blue notch. Next to it on the other side is the red. Opposite to it is the gray. If you look at the segment, this is called the segment of the train. When you come to a crossing in the stop, the front is coming very soon. That is the end of the segment and then a beginning of another segment. We can count the rail cars when we get there. If you never been if you are a truck driver and you come here for the first time, you might not know, or you might forget. If you look at this guy that's coming now, or the crossing, this is a yard jockey that crossed that crossing. Only the yard jockeys can cross in the middle between the segments. A segment is a rail and rail cars on the top of it, and it will end here, and then you have a crossing, then it will start another segment. Where is the segment ends? Yeah, we are coming to it very soon, right here. Here's the yard jockey. He made a quick, he was not expecting me, but early in the morning. This is the middle crossing. We are not allowed to cross this middle crossing. Only the yard jockey. We stop here. Here is the beginning of one segment, and it ends all the way there. And here is the end of one segment behind me, and it goes all the way back behind me. So this is the blue lot on my right. That's the beginning of one segment out of 8 segments in total. If you wanted to count them, you can count it as 1, that's 2, that's 3 prime, that's 4, they are double, as you see, that's Martin, that is 5, that is EMB, that is 6, that is stack train, that is 7, Schneider, that is 8, the hub group, that is 9, another STG, that is 10, EMB, that is 11, the hub group, 12 the hub group, 13 also the hub group, 14 the hub group, 16 the hub group. There is no stop here, so I did not forget. Schneider 17, and then CR England hour is 18. That is the trend. Another CR England, that is 19. Here are 2 CR England on the top of each other. And the hub group is 20. Here is the crane or the lifter. Prime is 21. Another prime is 22. Another prime is 23. CR England is 24. Prime is 25. CR England is 26. 2 prime is 27, and another prime is 28. So the segment has 28 rail cars. Each one has 2. 28 times 2, that is 56 in a segment. Multiply that by 8. 50 times 8, that is 400. 6 times 8, that's 50. So the freight train will have 450, almost 448 containers. 400, that's 400 containers. That's an enormous number of containers. 450, 48 means 448 trucks will come in to deliver, and the equal number of trucks will have to pick up from the train, from the coming train. This is a shop for CRA for the Union Pacific shop. It is an outdoor shop, but miserable place to work. This is a green. Yes, this is a green, and this is a brown. We saw now a lifter on that side, and the small ones, those are dollies for UPS. And here another segment, 4 segments of the train. As we said, there are 4 rails, 2 right here, as you see, and the 2 on the other side. This is a brown rut. Doesn't have a brown color, it's just the label of the rut. We said there are 2 stacks here, there are single stack. So the 448 that we calculated, assuming that all of them are double stacked rail cars. Here some of them are single stack, some of them are double stack. But the maximum, as you can see, in this Union Pacific rail yard, the maximum number of rail cars per a freight train is 448. Assuming that you have, each segment has 28. Multiply 28 times 2 is double stack times 8, or 28 times 16. That will give you the number that we came up with. Here they are still loading this segment of the train, and you also now, since we are in the middle of the discussion, you know why they divide the train into 8 segments to make it easy to manage the area. The area means this is a yard. The yard is a rectangular, but the rail are lines, straight lines. When you have a rectangle, you divide it into 2 halves along the rectangle, and each half you divide it into 4. That will give you 8 segments, so you have to have the crossing in the middle. This is a very busy part. This is the brown part. Very busy. See how many yard jockeys you have. And I have to stop here so nobody hit me while I scream at me. This is a middle crossing. The middle crossing only for the yard jockeys. Here is a massive area for the chassis. So only chassis and the wheels of the train that they used to replace the torn or the worn wheels. The wheels of the rear cars that have lost metal become very thin. You have a replacement for them right across from me now, right here. This area. Everybody's running crazy. Already 1:34 in the morning, and they finish their lunch. This is a graveyard shift. Here they are replacing the wheels. This train have to leave in the morning. Any wheels, anything that strong, they have to replace it. They have to fix it. So the inspectors run with trucks, pickup trucks. They have air tanks for welding, for using power tools that require high pressure, 110 psi. They can weld, they can cut, and they can torque, and they can lift the entire rear car to replace the wheels. This is another stop. The jolts is because you have a pump to slow you down. Here are the trains that are being inspected and fueled. This is the fuel island for the engines. And here is the beginning where the lifters are parking. 2 here and 2 are working behind me. Now we can leave. This crossing is at the end, on the west side. There is another crossing at the other far end of the east side. And in the middle between the east and west, there is a middle crossing that I shown you that is not for us, for drivers, for the yard jockeys. And here are chassis, and at the far corner, let me go to the far corner and I'll show you a parked lifter that does a different job. This one here is parking on the side, that lifter. It is like a forklift, but it's a massive one. So you use it to go between the containers and lift it. Look at it. It can lift a container that has 20 tons of goods. Those are the chassis that you load containers on them. And you charge the customer. So the customer will rent them. The customer will rent them, and the customer will have his own container. But Union Pacific has its own chassis. So the chassis is only to carry the container in the city from one customer to the Union Pacific or to the carrier. But those chassis, they stay in the city. They don't go on the train. They are just being used inside the city. And here are the half container. All these are short. They are taking one side of the yard. A back wide, and the next one is New York or NYKU. That's the exit. TEX. And you will have all the international shippers here. Sometimes you see Mediterranean or United Arab Emirates, or here is one, I don't know which company is that, and we are leaving the yard now.